Incomplete love, complete crime. A story of love, betrayal, guilt, and redemption. A shared love. Ahmed and Faraz, both 22 years old, were not just best friends, they were training together to become ASB officers. Confident, young, and full of ambition, they shared everything. But there was one thing neither of them expected to share: love for the same girl. Her name was Rumeysa. Rumeysa was graceful, intelligent, and passionate about social work. She met both Ahmed and Faraz during a seminar, and soon, all three became close. But while Ahmed and Faraz both quietly fell in love with her, Rumeysa had already given her heart to someone else, a young man named Adil. Adil wasn't a cop. He was charming, mysterious, and came from a wealthy background. Unlike Ahmed and Faraz, who lived by rules, Adil didn't believe in limits. Ahmed was the first to realize Rumeysa's affection for Adil. He chose to remain silent, accepting her happiness. But Faraz wasn't ready to let go. When he found out Rumeysa and Adil were secretly seeing each other, it broke him. Heartbroken and angry, Faraz shared his pain with Ahmed, and for the first time, both friends felt something darker creeping into their hearts. The betrayal burned. Days passed, and the silence between them grew. Then, one night, they made a decision, a fatal one. The murder and the escape. They would eliminate Rumeysa. She had broken both their hearts. She made them weak. That's what they told themselves. But before their plan could unfold, Adil discovered something horrifying. Rumeysa was being courted by two other men as well, both sons of wealthy industrialists. It shattered Adil's pride. The idea that Rumeysa could even entertain others after saying she loved him. It felt like a betrayal. Consumed with rage and jealousy, Adil followed Rumeysa one night as she walked home from an NGO event. He confronted her, accused her of lying, of using him. She denied everything. She cried, begged him to trust her. But Adil, in a moment of madness, couldn't hear her. He strangled her to death in the alley behind her apartment. When the news broke, Ahmed and Faraz were stunned. Rumeysa was dead, but not by their hands. The police launched an investigation, but Adil vanished. He used his family's influence and wealth to escape the country. The case grew cold after 3 years, and was eventually closed. Ahmed quit the academy and left for his hometown. Faraz stayed in the force but became distant and mechanical. Rumeysa's death haunted them both. Adil, meanwhile, settled in Europe under a false identity. For 47 years, he lived in isolation, never married, never found peace. Every night, Rumeysa's face came back to him in nightmares. Redemption and return. At the age of 69, Adil's heart couldn't carry the guilt anymore. He boarded a flight to Los Angeles, the city where it all ended. He walked straight into a police station. "I killed Rumeysa 47 years ago. I'm here to surrender." The young officer at the desk blinked in disbelief. Soon, the old case file was reopened, and Adil was arrested. The news spread like wildfire. Ahmed, now retired and weak, requested to meet Adil in prison. Their reunion was heavy with silence. "I don't hate you," Ahmed whispered. "You killed the woman I loved, but you've been dying every day since. I saw it in your eyes." Adil nodded. "I thought love gave me power. But all it gave me was loneliness." Later, Faraz visited too, older, colder. He didn't speak much. He just looked at Adil and said, "She was too good for all of us." The court sentenced Adil to life in prison, even though he barely had years left. For the first time in decades, he felt light. He finally wrote a letter addressed to Ramesa, pouring out every word he had buried inside. Ramesa, I loved you. I lost you. I failed you. I tried to possess love instead of protecting it. If you can, forgive me. Adil. With special permission, he was allowed to visit her grave, where he placed the letter and a single white rose. That night, Adil passed away in prison from heart failure. Epilogue: in one row of a quiet cemetery, 3 graves rest side by side, Ramesa, beloved and gone too soon. Ahmed, loyal, broken by silence. Adil, the lover who became a criminal. A few feet away, on a lonely stone, is the name, Faraz. They all loved her in their own way. And in trying to keep her, they lost themselves. Sometimes love doesn't die.